Well, good morning, my fellow zombies. Are we sleep deprived still? Are we emotionally screwed up? And I hope to God we all are. Sleep deprived and emotionally screwed up. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here together, would we? Welcome to the Diary of the Griever named John Weaver and Happy Me from Roseman, California. So, you heard the latest? Oh, yeah, I hadn't heard the latest. Oh, well. Certain basketball player works for the Mets. You may have heard of this particular one. Had something that ticked off the Jewish Defense League and everybody else who is sensitive about things like this, and I wouldn't blame him anyway. But when he posts something on his site that has a lot of the, let's see, feeder fish on both sides of the aisle reacting to this damn thing, and then he gets pestered in a news conference, he won't answer a question. And then he gets things taken away from him. Then he reacts to it. He's reacting to the loss of money. He's not reacting to what people have talked about regarding his statements or he himself. He's reacting to the damn loss of money. He wants to get it back, so he's got to do anything and everything he can to get it back. That's all he cares about is the money. It's not about the personality. It's not about the persona or prestige. It's not even about anything of him. He doesn't do it what's right. And what's right at this point over here is he should have made good about it, but he didn't. It just never ceases to amaze me about some people going that far regarding their rhetoric. You know, I had taken a trip. I had taken a trip a while ago with my family to Los Angeles Museum of Tolerance. The Simon Wiesenthal's West Coast Center. And I had seen stuff I had lived through regarding the 92 riots. And I had seen what had happened in Nazi Germany. And when I came out of there, I was shaking like a leaf. Because it rattled me to a core where seeing that much malevolence and how intolerant people were towards each other. Actions that had taken place in 1991 had opened up old wounds, and everything else went hell in a handbasket afterwards. I was trying to figure out why during that time. I was watching everything and notating everything in my head. It was still giving me a headache. And it was just rattling my cage inside. Blacks would have to burn down Koreans and go after the whites or anybody else that moved except their own kind. And I was hearing the mutterings of this one. And I was seeing some of the films that they actually had. And then to hear and see the Nazi speeches, what they thought about the Jewish nation, the Jewish people, anybody else who would have been considered as such. You know, I kept asking myself, the biological sperm donor I used to call a dad, or I didn't call a dad, but the guy who did the job and then he left, he ran off on my mother. never bothered to see, what the result of his experimentation was. He never did call me or lettered or anything else. Just plain out ignored. Just ran out like a coward. And Curry was. He used to be called Jack Elmo Weaver. Switched it to John Weaver. Common enough name and common enough where he hid. I never knew anything about my father after that. My mother had stories, but I wasn't quite sure if they were legitimate or not, and I still don't. Whether or not he worked for Sweetheart Cup Corporation a long time ago. Was he an engineer that actually got a patent and got rich off the damn thing? Was he ever a musician or a magician over at the Magic Castle in Hollywood? I got no places to start, and at this point, I guess it really doesn't matter much because I'm dealing with my own damn life as it is. And if he actually comes back, I don't know if I'm going to be able to deal with him or not. But one thing I probably would ask is whether or not if he is why did he do what he did? You thought I was going to be asking something, you're talking about something else because of the other lead-in I did. I know. And it would have been said as well, but I decided to go for a different route on this one here because I sure as hell didn't want to play the game of saying, well, I'm just playing victim at this point over here. I'd be curious about my father's condition anyway, or actually not condition, his genetic history to see whether or not if he actually was Jewish. What would that mean? I was raised a Catholic. No, not a Catholic. They tried to raise me as a Baptist. Then they tried to raise me as something else. And then finally, a Methodist Christian. I decided to stay with Methodist Christian because I thought that was the easiest damn thing. And my mother decided it as well. So the whole family converted to Christianity. But the thing is, I didn't have to have religious training to understand that there is some things beyond us. And what it tells me something is that it didn't matter whether or not if I believed in God one way or another, God was still God. He wears many hats. And I'm sorry, my brain is still not working great this morning. I've had coffee and it's still trying to put me to sleep. So I probably will be going back to bed in a few minutes. But still, I wanted to find out whether or not if I was actually part Jewish. Because it would give me more of an insight of my behavior. And it would give me more of a family history to look upon. To think and feel that maybe I was still part of in one way, part of the old country or part of the desert, so to speak. That maybe I would probably still feel something about that race. That I would feel a connection to them. I was hoping maybe I would. I may not be able to understand the Jewish culture at this point, except some of them anyway, and I still like them. It's pretty cool. I may not understand the Jewish language, and Yiddish is something that we always been using left and right. Would it be acceptable? I don't know, because I'd rather not be insulting anybody at this point over here regarding their heritage. Bug war. I would not, and refuse to do so, to look upon someone's heritage and think that they are beneath because it is an ego trip. It is an ego trip. Regardless of whatever kind of culture that you come from, it's got to be an interesting culture of some sort. But you're going to be bad mouthing cultures left and right because you think you're the hottest one around. It's like you're becoming boring as vanilla. Now, don't get me wrong, I still like vanilla, and I still like chocolate, and I still like strawberry. But what I don't like is a plain old flavored or unflavored situation or characterization, or person for that matter. Trying to tell him to the world that he is the ultimate and everybody else is below him because he is the elite and he is this and he is that. Basically, he's got an ego and he's got a mouth running off. When it comes down for someone's heritage and culture, it's something to be learned from, not to be insulted and not to be taken disadvantage of. I mean, it's disingenuous. Yeah, somebody was going to tell me that they were part of the homeland or Palestinian. I'm like, cool. I know a couple of people. One is Israeli and one's Palestinian. They work together and they don't have any issues with each other. At least they haven't had any issues with each other that I've noticed. And they're both nice guys. They're both sweethearts. I like these guys a great deal. I have respect for them. Not because of the culture, but because of them. Because of them. Inside, the good people. When I heard about that basketball player doing what he did, and then tried to laugh it off, or tried to do somewhat of an apology, he was trying to get his money back. I gotta change topics at this point over here. Today, Elon Musk begins his mass Twitter layoff. He's killing off half to nearly three-quarters of his company, apparently. He's doing the chopping block because he wants people he trusts, and God knows what else is going on with this son of a bitch. I used to like and respect this son of a bitch. Now, I just hate his ass. So basically, the hero that I thought it was going to be for NASA is becoming the villain of the telecommunications section, especially when we're dealing with mass media Twitter accounts. Since he's now the owner of them, he fired all the damn execs, and he's got total control. And he's firing people left and right. He's doing a massive layoff. If he can't trust anybody, he's going to get rid of them and put his own damn staff in there. Or hire people that he can think he can control. And the culture of Twitter has just died. You know, it's one thing if I'm worrying about me being anti-Semitic. But it's another thing that I am being anti-American at this point by looking at this one asshole who's made contributions regarding technology and transportation, not to mention trying to save the American space race, only to kill off jobs left and right and kick people out for no apparent reason because he doesn't like them or whatever, burr up his ass. I wouldn't be that surprised if anybody would try to do class action lawsuits, which I'm hearing right now that they are trying to do that, but also basing it off of worse than that. If he's being anti-Semitic, if he's being something that is breaking the law one way or another. Now, I know in California, there may be other states having this kind of law. It's called an at-will. Damn thing's been out there for decades. Basically, what it tells you that once you get hired into a company, doesn't matter how long you stayed in a company, you can get fired or terminated instantly because they don't have to provide. You do not have to provide a reason for it. Now, if we're talking about if it's disabilities that he's got a problem with, that's one thing. If it's political aspirations or people favoring certain political parties and certain entities, maybe he's got an issue over that. I don't know. But he's not making it public. But he is telling the people publicly that he is taking away their jobs. In a holiday season like this that we're in, that we're coming up on Thanksgiving in the next three weeks. Yeah, 3 or 4 weeks. And we're going to be theoretically celebrating our day of Thanksgiving or Indigenous Day. Now that is being taken away from us, and not to mention the Christmas season because they have no money coming in except whatever savings they've got left, and they're going to burn through that instantly. So now they got to make more judicious plans. And Musk is not helping anybody on this one. As soon as he gets his layoffs done, will he rehire everybody else back, or is he going to get new staff, or is he just going to dismantle the company one by one until there's nothing left? Twitter, as people knew it, is long gone. They thought about happy retirement through this damn social media platform. They're going to be given a hell of a surprise because no media platform is going to be safe. In the internet business, nothing is safe. Over the past 30 years, if I've recognized about the internet, or longer than that, businesses like that are coming and going left and right. Nothing is stable enough. Nothing's going to be stable enough for anybody. So now what do? We have problems concerning about people being angry at other people because of their differences and characteristics and genetics and God knows what else they got, including family histories. And now we've got this one guy's doing the axe on people because what? And he's earning the title of villain at this point. He's earning it. Not being a savior. Not being a technological wizard of helping people out left and right. No, he's becoming the villain because he's getting rid of people left and right. Without even telling us or them why. If he actually said something like that, if he actually told people that he was doing this. But he did. He gave him fair warning this week. They were going to get terminated. Wednesday, they better leave. Otherwise, Friday, he's going to kick their ass out. And he's doing it. Pink slips all around. This is not the kind of year I'd like seeing at this point. Because I don't know what next year is going to bring. If we have any indications that there's going to be any positivity for this year, transferred over to next year, I think it's been blown to hell already. But as of my personal points of view, what's going on, I try not to be anti-Semitic. I try not to be against somebody else at this point over here, unless they've got an issue personally. Then I've got an issue with them. Musk, I got a problem with. This other basketball player. Notice I haven't said any names, but we all know which particular Yahoo it is, since he plays for the Mets and he has been suspended 5 games. Well, let's just hope that he's actually sincere and not playing everybody else for a fool and a chump. I wouldn't put it past this guy. Why do I say that? He's already been telegraphing it left and right with his damn pride and his own damn ego and his own damn arrogance at this point. There is no ounce of humility or humbleness in this guy. He's doing it for the money. Plain and simple. He's doing it for the money. That's all he cares about. That's why he apologized the way he did, because he wants his money to continue. Otherwise, he's not going to be who he thinks he should be. A greedy red bastard. Meanwhile, we'll see how today goes. If anything happens or doesn't happen. Till then, boys and girls.